Welcome to SimsPlayhouse presents the No Zoom Challenge. This is your girl Janae, and I just want you to go right ahead before we go any further and hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can be notified the next time I upload another video. The No Zoom Challenge. This challenge was started by hiphiprenee and done also by HAVANA Sims and Bubbly Zen. And I thought, hey, I'd join in too and have some fun. Basically, hiphiprenee's boyfriend was challenged to build a house for her. And he, for some reason, it was his first time building anything in The Sims, in Sims 4. And he, for some reason, just pretty much stayed zoomed out for the entire build, which is, let me tell you, it is not an easy thing to do. So the basic rules of the challenge is that you're not to click in more than 3 times or 3 scrolls of your mouse to do the house. So I tried my very best. There have been times when I kind of slipped in a little bit and I had to catch myself and zoom right back out. But this is my take on it. Now, I promise you guys, I do not consider myself the best of builders. So I went with a simple square house because I'm like, listen, if I have to zoom, I can't zoom in. I have to place clutter. I have to have at least 2 bedrooms and living room, dining room, and kitchen and all this sort of stuff. I'm like, listen, if I have to do all these things, we're gonna have to draw a line somewhere. And that is, we're gonna go with my basic of builds. I did not use any floor plans or anything of the sort to help me or guide me in this process. This is literally me building on the fly. So thank you guys, Bubbly and hiphiprenee. They have both encouraged me to go ahead and give it a try. And this is my attempt at it. I had some issues in terms of finding the things that I wanted to use. A lot of times I would find myself literally staring at the computer. Like right now, I'm literally just staring at it, trying to figure out, what do I do next? What do I do next? How do I go to the next step? I mean, I literally sat down there for a long time drawing a blank, because usually I go into the room, I sit in, maybe I don't actually sit in the room, but you know what I mean? Like you're in there, you get a feel for the room that you're in and figure out, okay, these cabinets, these walls, these floors, okay, I like how this is going. Where do I go? What's the next step? What do I want to add here? Do I want to change this around? Do I want to add a dining room, like separate the walls? I literally sat here for a moment just staring at the computer because I drew a complete blank. I can't even pretend that that's not what happened. That's another thing. Building for me, I know some people, like, they take an hour, 2 hours to build a house top to bottom and they're done. That's not me. If I'm building a house and I don't know what I'm doing, honestly, it can take me, especially if I'm not using custom content, it can take me 4, 5, 6 hours, 8 hours. It can take me 2-3 days to kind of get what I want. And the reason why it takes so long, even without custom content, I have to use what EA gives us. And a lot of times, because I've been playing with custom content pretty much from the very beginning, I cannot tell a lie. I do not know half of the stuff that EA gives. And a lot of times I'm thinking of looking for something, and then I realize an hour later that I'm searching for something that's custom content and not base game, EA produced. So that kind of throws me off. And then when I do decide to use custom content in my builds, like I decided in this particular build, I would use I would use custom content. I thought about going without it, and I kind of changed my mind. But when I do use custom content, it takes a long time for me to either, one, find what I'm looking for and figure out which category that the creator put it in, because a lot of times the categories that they have chosen are not the same that I would have chosen if I were making that particular bit of CC. I would, put it in a different category. For example, EA gave us ceiling fans in the Caribbean update that they gave us. Thank you, EA. I appreciate the fact that you gave us the ceiling fans, but you put it in miscellaneous decorations. I have a gazillion items of CC and miscellaneous decorations. I would be searching for forever to find the ceiling fans. And matter of fact, I have been searching for forever. So personally, I didn't use them in this build, but personally, I went in and retagged them to miscellaneous electric. And the reason for that is I think it fits in better. It's not a light, but it is an electronic device, an electric device, and it's miscellaneous as opposed to just decoration. It made it a lot easier. I don't have that many, custom content in that particular category, so it made it a lot easier for me to find. And of course, EA did not put lights on the ceiling fans, but thank you to the creators out there. There's someone that did add a light to the ceiling fan, and they've also retagged it on miscellaneous electric. So guess what? Now we have ceiling fans that work and give light, and they're properly categorized. For me, it made sense. So when I have to build and use custom content, it takes even longer because it takes a while for me to find what I'm looking for. A lot of times, again, because the creators have tagged them in weird categories, and it just makes finding things a whole lot more difficult. So basically, coming back to the build real quick, I did the living room and I did the kitchen, and as you can see, there is no actual dining room. I chose one of the smallest lots in Newcrest. I think this is the 15 by 20 lot. I didn't want to have too much landscaping to do. I tried to make this as easy as possible with the least amount of extra stuff having to be done in it to make things work. I usually don't even use so many lights. Oh my goodness. I'm not looking at what I'm doing here, like really paying attention to. Even though I went in and I took the pictures and everything, I'm just realizing that I have like a million lights, ceiling lights. I usually don't go this far. You see, this is what happens when you build from far and you're not paying close attention to what you're doing. And all you're trying to do is accomplish the end goal of having a house that looks, kind of decent. And you can't zoom in and see see how these things look. Oh my goodness. I am now looking at this and realizing how goofy it looks. Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? I think it looked good in the end. I think I got things done right. I actually have to say this, guys. When I completed it and I went in and I looked at the house, I did not notice I didn't even realize that I had those three chandeliers in the living room area, matching what's in the kitchen. I didn't even realize that. But I will say that I'm actually kind of pleased with what I finally came up with and what I did in the end. This was not, I had no idea this was going to be so good. That I really didn't. I hoped it would look good, but I had no idea that it would look this good. I'm actually kind of proud of myself for what I've done. If you guys want to take a look at this challenge and you want to try it, let me know. I'll certainly put the link in the description to, I believe it would be hiphiprenee's her boyfriend when he did it, so you guys can see what he did and how he did it. And then I'll also link you guys to Bubbly, because Bubbly's end, she did a really good job. I think this young lady has amazing build skills. Okay, I'm just gonna put it out there. I believe that if you meet someone or you encounter someone that has, something that you admire about them, that you should freely and openly compliment and not tear each other down. And that's the philosophy I live by. And so I'm gonna make it known right now, Bubbly Zen, you have amazing build skills, and hats off to you, my sister. And one day I aspire to be kind of sort of like you when I grow up. with my building skills because yeah, these box houses, they are not exactly it. And I should also put this little disclaimer out here. Thank you, Seasons. Thank you, EA. Wonderful job you guys did with Seasons. But when I came to actually do the preview for this house and get the pictures for it, I promise you, it was in the middle of fall. And this particular save I build in, it's a save that I use only to build. I don't do any other playing in this house. In this particular save, all I do is build, and I have one sim that I move from one house to the next, to the next, to the next, to test these houses before I put them out, basically. And it was fall. It was the second day of fall, and this is one of those 7-day season towns, as it were. And literally, there was no sunlight. It was overcast and cloudy and rained. I mean, thunderstormed the entire time I tried to get the pictures for this house. I ended up having to come out of the save completely and go back in without saving. Well, I mean, the house is saved, but without saving for play purposes. And going back in and trying to capture one morning with some sunlight. And that's how I was able to get that in the end. It was not an easy task at all, but I got it. I think. Yeah, I got it. It was not the easiest of things to do, but I eventually got that sunlight in there, and I was able to make that work. So guys, please go ahead, watch till the end. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys would also take up the challenge and give it a try. The no zoom challenge, it really is pretty simple. Well, maybe not that simple. You're really not supposed to zoom in more than 3 clicks from the furthest point out, or 3 scrolls of your mouse. I do think sometimes I did kind of zoom in just a tad bit closer, but for the most part I stayed out, and I really tried to stay out as much as possible. Once I realized that I zoomed in too much, I would kind of zoom back out. But that is the basic part of this entire challenge. Staying out. That's the hardest part, really. Staying out and placing things. And you have to place clutter items. That is actually the hardest part of this entire thing. It's actually the hardest part. One thing I did notice when I did that, I initially placed some clutter items in the kitchen, next in front of the window, on the counter to the right, in the front window. And I think I realized it just after I finished recording, that the items were kind of stuck into the curtains a bit. So I had to pull them forward. So they are properly placed, sort of. They're pulled forward to the front of the counter as opposed to the back of the counter, so they won't be lost in the curtains. I did not do that on camera. Like I said, I noticed it literally as I hit end of stop recording, and I went back to it, still zoomed out. I noticed that it was a little bit kind of not placed too right, so I kind of pulled it back out a little bit. And then the lights that I chose in the bedroom and the bathroom, I don't know why I chose those lights. I didn't realize that, again, EA lights, I don't use them very often. I didn't realize that they had that kaleidoscope effect, so they showed up in the end results. But I think it came out pretty cute at the end of the day. I think I like how it came out. And I kind of zoomed back and forth between the 2 bedrooms and the bathroom a little bit in the ending there. But I think I like how it came out. I like it. I usually don't put my builds in the gallery, especially the ones that have custom content in them. I will go ahead and put this one up in the gallery for you guys, so anyone who wants to download it can go ahead and do so. I cannot promise you that I will list all of the custom content and the creators with whose work I've used. I cannot promise you that. It's just so much, too many. But I will say hats off to all the creators, hats off to the The modders and the creators out there, hats off to you guys. I have dabbled in recoloring. It is not an easy task, let me tell you. It's not easy. It can be done, but it's not easy. It's really difficult, and it takes a lot of patience. So hats off to all those who do it, and those who create meshes and then make a million swatches to a mesh that they create. Hats off to you as well. This is your girl Janae signing out. This is Sims Playhouse presents the No Zoom Challenge. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you can be notified the next time I upload another video. Dag dag. If you like what you see, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Dag dag!